My name is Vincent Grant Sr. I'm a member here at Turtle Mountain and Chippewa. And I've lived here, well, I was born and raised here. And then I moved away for work. Now that I'm retired, I moved back here. So I'm back home. So what I want to get into, I guess, is how we came to be here. You know, a lot of us, the Midships and the American Indian people were here before, but how we all mixed in with everybody is through the fur trade era, when the fur trade companies were a big Northwest Area Trade Company and Hudson Bay Company got to buying furs. And what they bought furs for is they discovered they could shear these beaver pelts and make felt out of them. Excuse me, I didn't mean to be jumping around here, but make felt like this hat is made of, and the beaver, they would take and shear them off, and then they get like a wool underneath there that they made these hats with. And the reason they wanted the felt is the top hats came in style, tall top hats, and so they needed the felt to make them top hats, and so they started buying it for the furs and stuff, and then sort of became the fur trade era, the mountain men and whatever else. It was like mid 1700 to around 1840, somewhere in there. Like I said, they started in St. Louis, actually, the fur trade company, our era did, and they moved out from there, and then some of the bigger companies start, like from Hudson Bay and Northwest Fur Trade in Canada. And so they started going down the rivers, picking up these furs, trading. Well, at first they were having to ship their furs and haul their furs back to St. Louis. Then they start hauling them up to Canada. And then after, one company decided, well, why should I wait here for their furs when I could go down and meet them and buy them before this other company get ahead of me? They start having rendezvous. They'd have a spring rendezvous. Trappers would go out and trap all winter, stock up their furs and whatever else. Then usually in the spring of the year, the river waters were high. They'd load up huge canoes and with trade goods. And then they'd come down the rivers and whatever else. They'd pull off at a sandbar or whatever. They'd set up a rendezvous, and all the fur trappers and the local Indian tribes would all get together, a week celebration and trading. So the trappers mainly would buy their traps that they needed, and then they would buy lead to make bullets out of. They'd buy gunpowder. They'd buy beads to trade with the natives with, mirrors, iron knives, cooking kettles, cloth, ribbons, and combs and stuff like that. And so they would come in and trade. Well, the fur trade company was kind of different people, I would say. So they came in and they brought kegs of whiskey with them. Then they'd come in, and as soon as the fur company or fur traders would come in, they'd break open a keg of whiskey and get them started. And then after they had some going, and they'd sell more whiskey to them, they'd buy their furs in the meantime, trade for their furs and whatever else. And so whenever they'd have rendezvous, they'd always have games. You know, you get a bunch of guys together, and, well, I can shoot my rifle better than you can. I can shoot this bow better than you can. I throw a knife or a hawk better than you can. We can wrestle and whatever else, and horse races, and we just had a big celebration in the rendezvous, besides trading all their furs. Now, some of the main things that the fur trade company brought down, like I said, was lead and gunpowder, and they brought tea, not a lot of coffee, but they brought tea and brown sugar, and tobacco, and all the other trade goods, like I said, some spices and some beads and trinkets and whatever else to trade for their furs. So they would do this every spring, and so they'd go from one to the next. They'd go right down the river and go and trade with all these people. Now, a lot of the trappers would all bring all their fur in, but they would bring all kinds of other things in too, bones and skulls and horns and And one of the main things they traded for down here was over in the Knife River. They have some really good flint for flint arrowheads and knives and like that. So they had some really good flint, some of the best in the world actually. And so they would, as they were trapping or whatever else, they'd see this flint, they'd pick it up and carry it with them. They'd bring it to the rendezvous and they'd trade their flint and whatever else for whatever they needed. And so that was their big celebration for the year was the main spring. Then after that, everything kind of broke up, and fur trade companies took all their furs back on their big cargo canoes and hauled them back, and the trappers went on about their scouting. They used their summers to scout and to set up small tents and stuff, camps and stuff for the next winter. And they'd cache all their traps and stuff in there and all their stuff in there in a cave or in one of their cabins, and so they didn't have to drag it on, carry it around with them.